much for your time today, Khelika. Just to give you a brief regarding the learning and development that's called L&D Dialogue Series. So usually we do 3 types of events under the L&D Dialogue Series. One is the interview series, which we are doing one today. The other one is the high tea or the breakfast meets, which we usually do in all the metros. We just pick a theme and a topic, and we invite the elite, L&D heads and the prospective panelists in that particular event, and we just brainstorm on a topic which is quite relevant in the industry at that point of time, and all the peers connect and they discuss on that particular topic. The third one is the industry forum, which we do, which is usually a long duration event for 4 or 5 hours, followed by a lunch or a dinner, wherein we will have panel discussions, keynote address and all. So that's the third type of event which we do. So today's theme or topic, as you are aware, is putting the organization on a digital skills transformation roadmap. Now, since you are a veteran in the industry and you have spent so many years in learning and development, you yourself have seen that how, in fact, the learning and development itself has evolved and transformed over the past decade. I mean, gone are the days when one used to collect the hard copies of the feedback forms, attendance sheets, right? And we used to send the hard copy of the courseware as well, either at the client side or at the third-party venue. So those things have vanished from the training industry, right? So, I mean, we ourselves have transformed a lot. So in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, how do you envision the role of learning and development in driving the digital skills transformation within the organizations, Khelika?
Sure. So first of all, thank you, Vivek. Thank you, TeamLease, for having me as a part of the L&D Dialogue series today. Excited to dive into the discussion on digital skills transformation, and it is such a relevant and exciting topic in our ever-evolving digital landscape, right? So on your question, right, the role of L&D in digital transformation. So picture this, L&D is like a friendly guide on a digital safari, and our role is to equip teams with the skills they need to navigate in the jungle of technology, like from AI to data analytics. And we are not just handling out training manuals, we are creating experiences that inspire and empower everyone to embrace the change. And the key is to stay agile and adapt our programs to be fast-paced, they nurture as per the digital landscape.
Okay, that's great. Now, you would have seen, Khelika, that there are many, examples in front of us where the digital transformation or digitalization has entirely changed the user experience. One blatant example in front of us is the banking industry example. I mean, gone are the days when we used to stand up in queues in the banks to get our passbook updated, right? Because of the digitization and digitalization, everything happens in a click over the bank's app, right? So in the same context, could you please share a compelling example or a case study where your organization successfully implemented a digital skills transformation program, and what were the key drivers of its success, Khelika? If you may like to share any of the case studies or examples with us.
Absolutely, Vivek. So there may not be just one compelling example. There can be absolutely many. While in the interest of time, I will absolutely talk about one. So like when we launch a digital skills transformation initiative, we want to elevate the data literacy across the organization, right? So there's a secret sauce, and it is not just about the content, it is about the engaging format. So we need to turn learning into an adventure with challenges and rewards that can keep everyone hooked, right? So key drivers of success can be our leadership buy-ins in a gamified approach. And of course, we want to celebrate the wins together. So, in an ever-evolving landscape, learning is the key, and it can only be driven by, bringing in these key elements, we say these secret sauces that we need to keep adding to get those learner buy-in from time to time.
Okay, thank you. And is there any project or something which you have successfully implemented wherein you have seen an impact through digitization in your current organization or in your previous organization, Khelika? Would you like to share
Yeah,
that kind of an example
absolutely.
with us?
So there is a lot of verses, right? So there are light of this is like a classic battle, right? So like here's how we have kind of tackled it. Say so we say that rolled out a hybrid model for our latest leadership series that combines self-paced online courses with live interactive sessions. So this way, the team members can explore the topics that interest them while they are still getting the face-to-face connection. And so it is like we they choose adventure, right? They want to choose their own adventure book where everyone can tailor their learning journey. Feedback can be great, and we have seen a participation soar for sure, because learners always had the advantage to learn at their pace, to seek for learnings based on what they require, and I think that is something which digital space can offer, which was absolutely not there earlier, right? So it was more like it used to be a manual based or a pre-framed learning that we used to kind of offer people earlier, right? But today, everything is on the tips. And I think there may not be just one, there are multiple such instances where we have kind of gone digital in multiple ways of learning that we're delivering. So let me say, starting from the way we deliver a new higher learning program today, right, getting everything automated on LMS, right, to the way we kind of upskill people maybe through a lot of self-curated learning programs, a lot of I must say curated learning programs where some of which is interactive, some of which is self-learned, to kind of using a lot of learning portals today. Everything is digital, right? So stating that, of course, we have absolutely seen a participation soar, and people actually learn to be a part of this adventure because they know that they can design their learning journey in the organization. So
Well said. Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree with you. I am fully with you on this. And you would have also noticed one thing, Khalika, that while the younger generation, the younger lot, they are quite adaptable for a change, and they are quite digital savvy because of the social media impact. But it's slightly a bit difficult when it comes to the older lot because they are not that much adaptable to the change, you see. So I mean, it has to be a pull rather than a push, you see. So as digital skills requirement continue to evolve, how do you foster a culture of continuous learning and adaptability among employees? And what advice do you have for organizations looking to instill a learning culture?
Yeah, so for us, and for me personally, I believe, cultivating a learning culture is all about the mindset, right? So we encourage everyone to embrace a growth mindset. Failures are just stepping stones, and we have introduced, learning lunches where, folks can share knowledge over a casual meal. It's a great way break down the silos, celebrate learning journeys. So my advice personally would be is like make learning a part of the daily rhythm, share stories, recognize efforts, and most importantly, have fun with it, right? Do not make it as monotonous as it used to be earlier, nothing by the books anymore, right? So it's more about, make things digital, make things interactive, share wins, talk about what somebody has done great. And I think that brings the buy-in, right? So because we all know that in an organization, you absolutely have people with different skill sets. You have a lot of internal talent already available. So look at ways on how you can leverage the right talent and kind of bring in a culture where learning is the culture, than you imbibing it in people that learning can help you. So I think it is always a top down thing. You need to first start with the leadership, bring it to them. And for me, I have a very very simple mantra that we treat data like a treasure map. So because it guides us on our decisions, it helps us to define our programs. So we track the engagement metrics, survey feedback, performance outcomes to see what's working and what's not working. So this also allows us to, pivot quickly and make informed adjustments. So plus, sharing these invites with the team, helps us to create transparency and encourage continuous improvement. So this can also help us, track things from time to time and bring in a culture that says, learning is the most important element. And as we all know that learning never stops, so you have to keep inculcating, bringing in back to your culture and letting people know that we are here for you. And it's definitely not the same traditional learning that you have been a part of earlier, and we come with you with new ways, and we hear you out, and I think that is very important.
Great. And you mentioned the usage of data when it comes to identifying the skill gaps and then taking those decisions. So my next question is actually regarding the same only, that data and analytics play a crucial role in measuring the impact of digital skills development programs. So can you please elaborate how your organization leverage data to assess the effectiveness of such learning initiatives, and so that you can make those data-driven decisions, Khelika?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I have been talking about, right? So data for us is more like a treasure map, because this actually
Mhm.
helps you understand, where we stand, what are the areas of improvement, where we need to improve, where we need to kind of emphasize, and starting from any initiative that you take in learning, right? Starting from the need analysis till the time you have kind of, completed the program, you're talking about the post-assessment, you need to have your data talk to you, right? And data is the key, because that is where we can always go back, and the word and the something which is very critical in learning and development is, right, we know a lot of the areas that we train people on, they are qualitative and they're not quantitative, right? However, there are absolutely figures that they have to be aligned in, so that the management or the leadership has a visibility to what's going right and what's not going right. So as I have been talking about, we track engagement metrics, survey feedback, and performance outcomes majorly, to see what is working and what's not. And it actually helps us to kind of pivot quickly and make the informed adjustment to the approach that we would have taken from time to time.
Okay, nice perspective. And in the context of digital skills development, so how do you measure, or how do you balance the need for personalization and scalability in learning initiatives, and what strategies have worked best for your organizations, Khalika? The balance
Uh,
uh,
yeah.
between the personalization and the scalability in learning initiatives.
Yeah, so see, this is a classic battle. So, how we have kind of tackled it was majorly something that I spoke about. So we have rolled off, hybrid models, and these hybrid models have worked wonders for us, because that gives, people a visibility to the kind of programs that we are kind of offering for them. And these are majorly curated based on the kind of feedback and input that we might have received from them. And it gives them that liberty to combine the self-paced online courses to the live interactive sessions, which where everyone can kind of drive and create their own adventure book. And absolutely, this helps them in their learning journey. And for us, we have always seen that the feedback has been really great when you come up with these kind of customized programs, which are majorly tailored as per the needs that they have. Because absolutely, you are not expected to sit in the classroom throughout the day, and you can learn at your own pace, while you also have the face to face connect with the with the facilitator. And of course, there are certain areas which are much well attended when it's there. It's there's something called as personalization. So absolutely, we choose that we do both of it together. And most of the programs, specifically the key leadership programs that we try to offer, the entire leadership series that we had planned, from leadership series 1 for the first time managers, to some leadership series 2, which was for the seasoned managers, to leadership series 3, which was for the leadership, we chose to have the entire program customized in a manner that it has both element of it, and that helped us absolutely.
Interesting perspective. Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. So one last question from my side. I mean, in the last couple of years, you would have seen that while the vanilla skills, when it comes to outsourcing of vanilla or elementary skills, that has kind of squeezed down. The demand for the niche skills or the advanced technologies has picked up, especially the Gen AI or any other new technology. So from your organization perspective, what kind of trainings do you outsource more? Is it the intermediate skills where the volumes might be more, or where the volumes will be less, but the technology might be very niche? So what kind of outsourcing do you generally do in your organization?
Quite a great question, Vivek. So for us, yes, of course, since we also have an internal learning team that caters to certain learning skill sets, we choose to majorly outsource the niche skills because at the moment we may or may not have the said repository, or we may not have the said expertise internally, or maybe on certain niche skills where we kind of feel that employees need to undergo a certification, and they need to undergo and they need to have a broader perspective to what we are trying to offer. So see, it is more about the business trending, right? And we need to be updated with the market. And I am a very, very strong supporter of going external when there is something where we feel can help us improve our business, improve the technology that we're working on. So for us, the methodology may of course vary depending on how we look at it, but for us it's majorly towards the niche skills that we choose. The leaders and the key members from the team be a part of certain programs externally.
Okay. And is it a mix of e-learning and ILT or VILT, or only the mentor specific learnings which you
Again, that depends. So for certain programs, we choose to have in-person programs, but there are certain modules which are pretty, where we feel that, we have a lot of remote learners. Or so of course, because in an organization like ours, where we are already hybrid in nature, we absolutely have a lot of employees who are remote. And in certain cases where we know that there are certain skills that can actually be worked upon, even if trained virtually, we choose to impart so virtually. However, for certain, we are very specific about having instructor-led programs planned in the organization.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm afraid that's what we have in store for today. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of takeaways from today's discussion of ours for the industry peers. So I once again thank you very much for your time today, Khelika. It was indeed lovely talking to you. And I hope to see you in person very soon in any of our other IT or industry forums in the near future.
Absolutely, Vivek. And thank you once again for having me over. And thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to meeting you in person really soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.